Hey, welcome back to another video. I'm going to be doing my thoughts on total drama characters from season 4 and an additional one from season 5. Sorry, but this is probably the best I can do for the thumbnail, other than maybe the opening screen for the introduction, but meh. Here we go. Mike and his multiple personalities, including Chester, a frustrated old man, Svetlana, a Russian Olympic champion, Vito, an Italian brute, and Manitoba, an Australian mining guy. Mike, in general, he seems like a pretty nice guy. Multiple personality disorder is something I've never heard about, but it sounds pretty interesting. He's a very, very nice character, and his relation with Zoe was pretty interesting. His booting in season 4 was a bit unfair, though, and I'll get to a certain someone else in his multiple personalities in a moment. But Val wanted me to give her input on him, and she said, "He is a very interesting character, and in my opinion, the only one that actually has a mental disorder, aside from possibly Izzy. His mental illness is so good in the way it's shown on how people with multiple personality disorder deals with that kind of stuff. He clearly had a very bad childhood for the personalities to manifest. Each personality is a representation of how he deals with certain situations. And the most strongest being Mal. If all other personalities don't work, then Mal comes in." Fair enough. Zoe. She's very nice. Quite the player, I must admit. And once again, her relationship with Mike was definitely very interesting, and even into season 5, she still believed he was there. And she was right. But she nearly got to the end of season 4, and she reached the end of season 5. She's definitely very good at that. And seeing her go commando mode near the end of season 4 was actually pretty cool, I must admit. Just rip her shirt and just slightly rip her shirt, use it as a headband, and just set traps everywhere, go fully serious. That was pretty awesome. The way eliminations work is you can get voted off for being too strong, for failing a challenge, or if someone doesn't like you. She managed to avoid all that. Probably why she stayed in. Silent B, or Beverly. He's a very interesting character, despite not even speaking at all. He's definitely a good genius and very helpful to his team. I mean, the only thing we ever heard out of him was "ah" when he was launched from the catapult, which was kind of funny, I'll admit, but he seems like a nice guy. It's a shame that he had to go early on. I really liked his character. Stupid Scott. Dawn. The fact that she can just see straight through people and practically know everything about them makes me think, hey, I found who my therapist would be. But, she was, just like B, she was a very interesting character. Just being all omniscient, very smart. She seemed to be very supportive of her team as well, but just like B, Scott just sabotaged, pinned it on her, and she goes. Real shame. Oh well. Brick. He was a good soldier. I mean, sure, he has his fears and he wets his pants every so often, but he seems like a strong competitor. He seems very loyal and very willing to save people, even if they're on the opposing team. In which he did. And sure, that was why he was booted, but he's a good man. A good man. Joe. I mean, my name is spelled Joey, hers is just J-O, but she's definitely pretty rude. She's still a strong competitor, though, but once again, she's very rude. But she's not really manipulative, per se. Maybe she was a little bit, but she's definitely not the most dislikable character ever. She did play hard, though, so I'll give her that. Scott. He was very hateable in season 4. Just getting innocent people voted off by sabotage. Why does anyone even trust him? For real. In season 5, he wasn't as bad, and apparently got in love with Courtney. And he was very bad at it, but it was still funny. His whole rivalry with Fang, the toxic shark, was pretty cool too, I must admit. I mean, the shark bites him, loses its tooth, and then it just spends all season hunting specifically him. It's pretty hilarious. He got what he deserved when he was eliminated, and even Fang went with him when he was launched. Sam, the gamer guy. Gamers are athletes too. Wait, I can't do his voice. Either way, he was a funny character, especially when the world around him just turned into like a whole video game environment. It was pretty funny. I honestly don't know what else to say about him. Cameron. I believe he is 16, meaning he's a year older than me, but apparently a doll weighs more than him. But despite that, he does seem to be pretty smart, and he did apparently win against Lightning in the season 4 finale with his Iron Man suit, which was pretty cool, but he seems to be good friends with Zoe and Mike, which is nice. It's very helpful. I don't know, I mean, he was also smart enough to get Joe eliminated. I can't think right now. And Maria. What can I say? She's a pretty good character. I mean, apparently she fell in love with Mike's alternate personality, Vito, which kind of makes sense. I just love how when she loses her spray can, she just becomes invincible as she goes off to get it. But then by the time she gets it, she's completely vulnerable. It's funny. Her elimination was pretty stupid. I mean, Zeke gave her a fake diamond, she jumps on the catapult, then she just goes. I actually feel like she could have stood a chance later on, but, no. Oh well. Dakota. I mean, she's already rich. She's just there for the paparazzi and to try and get her own spin-off show. But then eventually gets affected by toxic waste and turns into some sort of monster that Sam apparently seems to fall in love with. And she seems to love him too. Very interesting, I'll admit. Otherwise, she's just pretty annoying in general. I kind of enjoyed Chris and Chef just destroying the paparazzi. Even put a restraining order on them.
God, you shut up for 5 seconds, Stacy. You're very stupid.
Lightning. Despite being very strong and agile and definitely very excited about a football player, or he is one. Isn't his name like Rudolph, I believe? He's very stupid, as he can't spell meat. He assumes that steak comes from trees, and he couldn't tell that Joe was a girl. I never kissed a guy. It's cool. Lightning don't judge. Despite that, I agree with Gwen. How did he even make it into the season 4 finale? Can't he just shut up? Well, he was eliminated relatively early on in season 5 because he was so strong, and they were aware of that, which is kind of how he did get to the end of season 4, but he's still very stupid. Mal. Mike's hidden alternate personality that was just pure evil. Even Duncan knew to fear him after knowing him from Juvie. But then Duncan decided to blow up Chris's cottage and get sent away, so we really couldn't do much about Mal since he went to prison. But Mal was definitely a very powerful villain in Season 5 and even made it all the way to the end, especially by using Zoe to his advantage. He just played everyone like cards and puppets. The only person who was really aware of him was Alejandro, but the fact that Alejandro was extremely manipulative in Season 3 was used against him, in which Mal got him eliminated. Despite all of the suspicions, everything that happened, he still made it to the finale. What I'm curious about is, what if during the Blue Harvest Moon, he decided to temporarily reveal himself? Sure, that probably would have led to even more suspicions, and he might have gotten booted that night. Well, pretty sure in that episode, the booted person just went to the villain's team. I'm still curious, but he was definitely a good villain. The thing is, though, with the whole alternate personalities thing and going into Mike's head, kind of cuts the whole reality show thing. Then again, since when was it really realistic even from the start? I mean, well, either way, I did very much enjoy the new characters. But thanks for watching. See you in the next video.